Knocking. At 2:13 a.m. Alex Michael was sitting alone in his room. It was 2:13 a.m. Outside, a violent storm was moving across the town. Rain struck the windows like tiny stones, and the wind made the old house groan. Alex had always hated storms, but tonight, the storm was not what frightened him. The house was. Alex had been alone for 3 days. His parents had gone to visit his grandmother in another city, but Alex had stayed home because he had an important university project to finish. The house was old. His grandfather had built it nearly 40 years ago. Behind the house stood an abandoned storage room. No one had entered it for years. Alex's grandmother had always warned him about that room. "Never go inside after midnight," she used to say. When Alex was younger, he had laughed at her. Why? His grandmother would always become serious. "Because sometimes something inside may hear you." Alex had never understood what she meant until that night. He was sitting at his desk working on his laptop when he heard a sound. Knock, knock, knock. Alex slowly lifted his head. The sound had come from the front door. He stared at the door. The house was silent. Then the knocking came again. Knock, knock, knock. Alex looked at the clock. 2:13 a.m. He frowned. Who could possibly be outside at this hour? He stood up. The floor creaked beneath his feet. Alex walked toward the door and stopped a few feet away. "Who is it?" No answer. He waited. Nothing. Alex looked underneath the door. There were no feet. He slowly stepped backward. Then a voice came from outside. "Alex." His entire body froze. The voice belonged to his grandmother. Alex stopped breathing. His grandmother had been dead for 3 years. "Alex, open the door." The voice sounded exactly like hers. The same soft tone, the same tired voice, the same way she had called his name when he was a child. Alex's hands began shaking. He remembered something she had told him years ago. "If someone calls your name after 2 a.m., never answer." At the time, Alex had thought it was just an old superstition. Now he was no longer sure. "Alex," the voice came again, "please open the door." Alex moved farther away. Then something strange appeared underneath the door. A shadow. Someone was standing outside, but the shadow was wrong. The legs were facing backward. The heels were pointed toward the door. The toes pointed away. Alex's heart began pounding. The shadow suddenly disappeared. Alex stood completely still. Then he heard a whisper behind him. "Why didn't you open the door?" Alex screamed and spun around. Nothing was there. His bedroom was empty. The only thing moving was the curtain near the window. Alex slowly turned toward his laptop. The screen had been turned off, but now words were appearing on it, one letter at a time. "It is not outside." Alex stared at the screen. Another line appeared. "It is behind you." Alex turned around. Nothing. His breathing became faster. He grabbed his phone and tried calling his father. No signal. He tried again. Nothing. Then he called his younger sister, Emma. The phone rang. Once, twice, 3 times. Someone answered. "Hello?" Alex froze. "Emma?" There was silence. "Emma, is that you?" A little girl's voice whispered, "Alex." He closed his eyes. "Where are you?" The voice replied, "I'm in the house." Alex's blood turned cold. "No, you're with Mom and Dad." A long silence followed. Then the voice whispered, "No, Alex." He could barely breathe. "I never left." The call suddenly ended. At that exact moment, a loud crash came from the back of the house. Bang! Alex jumped. Then he heard something dragging across the floor. Scrape, scrape, scrape. The sound was coming from the direction of the abandoned storage room. Alex decided to leave. He walked quickly toward the front door, but when he reached it, the handle began turning by itself. Slowly, very slowly. Alex stepped back. The door shook. Something was standing on the other side. Then a voice whispered, "You cannot leave." Alex ran back into his room and locked the door. He stood there, breathing heavily. Suddenly, every light in the house turned on. Alex looked down the hallway. An old photograph was hanging on the wall. He had never seen it before. It showed his grandfather, grandmother, parents, and a young Alex. But there was someone else in the picture, a tall, thin figure. "Dad, it's here." His father took a deep breath. "Alex, listen to me." If you hear your grandmother's voice, do not open the door. Why? Because it is not your grandmother. The call suddenly became filled with static. Then his father shouted, "Alex, do not look behind you." Alex froze. Slowly, he felt something cold touching the back of his neck. He did not move. His father was still shouting through the phone. "Alex, run!" Alex turned around. Nothing was there, but his bedroom door was now open. A black liquid was slowly spreading across the floor from the hallway. It moved toward his feet. Alex stepped backward. Then he heard a child's voice from underneath his bed. "Alex." He stopped. The voice whispered, "Help me." Alex's heart pounded. "Emma?" The voice replied, "I'm under the bed." Alex stared at the space beneath it. The room was dark. "Please." A small hand slowly appeared from underneath the bed. Alex stepped backward. The hand crawled across the floor. Its fingers were extremely long. Then the hand reached his ankle. Alex screamed. He kicked it away. The hand disappeared beneath the bed. Suddenly, the room became completely silent. "Do not open the door." But then the voice came again. This time, it was not coming from outside the room. It was coming from directly behind him. "Alex?" Alex slowly opened his eyes. A photograph was hanging on the wall. He had never seen it before. The picture showed Alex standing in his new bedroom. His parents were standing behind him, and in the background stood the tall black figure. Alex stared at the photograph. Then he noticed something. The figure was not inside the picture. It was standing behind him. Alex could feel something cold breathing against his neck. He slowly turned his head. The black figure was standing inches away. Its empty face leaned toward him. Then it whispered, "Wherever you go." Alex could not move. The creature continued, "I will follow." The lights went out. The room became completely dark. Alex screamed, but no one heard him. The next morning, his parents found his bedroom empty. The window was locked from the inside. The door was also locked. There was no sign of Alex. Only one thing remained. An old photograph lay on his bed. It showed the entire family standing together. But there was one new person in the picture, Alex Michael. He was standing at the very back. His face was completely black, and one of his hands was resting on the shoulder of a little girl. At the bottom of the photograph was a new date, July 17th, 2026. And beneath it, written in black ink, were 4 words, "He is with us now." Since that day, people in the neighborhood say that at exactly 2:13 a.m., someone knocks on their doors 3 times, knock, knock, knock. Sometimes they hear a little girl crying. Sometimes they hear an old woman whispering, and sometimes they hear a young man's voice, a voice that says, "Please, open the door." But if you ever hear that voice at 2:13 a.m., do not answer, because it may not be Alex Michael anymore. And if you look through the window, you might see him standing outside, waiting, smiling, and waiting for you to open the door. The end.